Mr. Macy, you mind, please stand. You can stand up, Mr. Falk. Where is he going?
Where?
The gentleman that had on the blue shirt, was he one of the ones on the panel?
We're not building doors.
Y'all can be seated.
Thank you. He's not on ours, he must be on theirs. That phone, yeah.
I guess she's in the wrong seat. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's anywhere.
No. I just told him, when I tried, have them sit in the same seat that they were in when they left. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, the court is back in session. And calls number M323227, case of style, the state of Texas versus Samuel Hayden Falk. Let the record reflect that Mr. Falk is present in court with his attorney, Attorney John Macy. Let the record also reflect that the state is present with Assistant District Attorneys, Attorney Andrew Hubel and Attorney Haley Simmons. Let the record reflect that the panel is now present and seated in the courtroom. State, are you ready? Defense, are you ready?
This is ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the panel, when your name is called, please go to the jury box. The bailiff have tags. You'll get a tag and then have a seat in the jury box. And now I'll put you in the hand of Miss Linda Segura. Ms. Segura?
Tracy Lewis,
Tracy Lewis, will you please come forward?
Diane Landry,
And you can follow.
Donna Reynolds,
You can get a tag.
Jessica Dorsey, James Boucher, Michael Allen.
Okay, will everyone please put on your tags? Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this time, I must administer to you the second of the two oaths that I've mentioned. At this time, I need each and every one of you to raise your right hand. And then once I finish administering the oath, please say, I do. Do each of you solemnly swear that in the case of the state of Texas versus Samuel Hayden Falk, the defendant, that you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hands down. Members of the jury, I will give you some instructions and a general idea of what to expect in this case. Every case is composed of facts and the law as it applies to the particular case. The facts comes from the witnesses on the witness stand. The law comes from the statutes, codes, rules, and other court decisions interpreting them and how they may apply to this case. You and I have equal authority in this case, but it is divided authority. You are the sole judges of the facts, and I'm the sole judge of the law. You are the sole judges of the credibility of witnesses and the weight to be given their testimony. You may believe all of what a witness says, part of what a witness says, or none of what a witness says. As the trial progresses, the attorneys will probably make objections to questions asked by the other attorney of witnesses or objections to the introduction of documents or objects. This means that in the objecting attorney's opinion, there is a legal reason why the testimony or document or object should not be received by you. Sometimes I will simply sustain or overrule the objection. At other times, it may require a lengthy discussion outside of your presence. If that happens, I will either ask you to step outside for a few minutes or ask the attorneys to come up to the bench so that you can't hear the discussion on the point of law. The reason for that, as I told you earlier, you are the sole judges of the facts you receive, and I'm the sole judge of the law. I can't be with you in the jury room when you deliberate the facts. Therefore, you can't be present or within hearing when I deliberate questions of law. The reason why I will sometimes ask you to step outside is because it is simply the most efficient way to do it. Otherwise, if we were to leave the courtroom, the court reporter would have to gather her equipment and take it with her, and the attorneys would have to gather their files, etc. The rulings I do make on questions of law in your presence are not evidence, and you should disregard them. After all the evidence is in, and both the state and the defendant have rested their cases, the court will prepare and submit to you a written charge instructing you on the law in this case. We will then hear oral arguments from the attorneys. The attorneys have the right to make a summation of the evidence and to make reasonable deductions from the evidence. Since the state has the burden of proof, it has the right to open and close the summation or argument until you retire to deliberate. Do not discuss this case amongst yourselves, and under no circumstances should you permit anyone to discuss the case with you. Do not attempt to learn from any source outside of the courtroom anything about the facts of this case, nor attempt any independent investigation on your own. Don't visit the scene involved in the facts of the case. Don't read any reports in the newspaper or watch TV reports about the case. Do not make up your mind about this case until all the evidence is in and you have been instructed on the law. Don't take notes during the progress of the trial. Don't visit other courts during a break if a trial or other proceeding is in progress. You have tags that has been given to you by the bailiff. Please wear those tags at all times because those tags identify you as a juror in this case. Ladies and gentlemen of the panel, those of you who are not selected as a juror in this case, first of all, I would like to thank you for your time and attention. I also like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to be here, to participate in this process. Our jury or our criminal justice system cannot function without citizens like yourself. I know many of you is probably thinking that you wasted your time because you were not selected on the jury, but you did not waste your time. We only can select a certain number of people on the jury by law. And so therefore, everybody cannot be on the jury. Now, I know that you wanted to serve, and we like to thank you for being here this afternoon. Now, anytime that you're in this area, anytime you're in the area of County Court at Law number 2, of Jefferson County Court at Law number 2, please come and have a seat in your courtroom. I know that when you came today for jury service, you looked over the top of the door and you said, this is County Court at Law number 2, Judge Terrence, this is Judge Holmes' court. Well, this is not my court, this is your court. I'm only a public servant serving the citizens of Jefferson County. In essence, I'm serving you. And so anytime that you're in the area of County Court at Law number 2, please come and have a seat in your courtroom. You'll find it very interesting. Now, you'll be able to sit in the area that you're sitting. We call that the peanut gallery. But it doesn't mean you could bring peanuts in here and eat, because this is not the Texas Roadhouse. But you can come and have a seat in your courtroom and see what goes on in Jefferson County. Now, the bailiff have letters for each and every one of you. She'll give you a letter when you leave. Now, we're going to actually start back up with this trial at 1:30 on tomorrow. Is that correct, State?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And so, therefore, if you want to come back at 1:30 and see what goes on in the trial, or if you're unable to come back, and if you have access to YouTube, you can watch us on YouTube. Okay. So at this time, before you leave, I usually give everyone a handshake, but we still have COVID in our community. So at this time, I'm gonna give everyone what I call an air handshake. Okay? Okay. Thanks everyone for coming, and you are excused if you need any excuses. The district clerk's office is right across the hall. You can go over there if you need an excuse, or if they're not available, you can come back here and we can give you an excuse. So at this time, your jury service has been complete. You're free to go, and each and every one of you have a blessed day. Okay, y'all may be seated. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, on tomorrow at 1:30, we're going to reconvene for the start of the trial. In this case, make sure that you have your badges. You'll be able to bring the badges home with you, and make sure you have the tags when you come to court, and you're going to have a seat outside of the courtroom in the hallway. And then when the bailiff is ready for you, she'll come out and get you. Okay, so we're going to start at 1:30, and just a brief overview of what you can expect. And you can expect the state to read the information, and for the defendant to make a response to the reading of the information. And then the state will be allowed to make an opening statement. Defense will also be allowed to make an opening statement. And following the opening statement, the state will put on its case. Okay? So at this time, the time now is 4:26 p.m. on today's date of September 23rd, 2024. You'll be excused until 1:30 tomorrow. Everyone, please stand as the jury exit the jury box. Court will be in recess.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so we're done till